So hello guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about Django. So welcome. So first, I want to talk about. I want to talk about what you need to know to start using Django. So I'll tell you in a few. So to learn Django, first you need to know Python. Okay, you need Python. So let me write them somewhere. So let me open a notepad. So to learn to learn Django, sorry, first you need to understand Python. Then something also I think you need to know before starting Django is the concept of SQL. Let me say databases. So preferably SQL because you'll be interacting with the database while programming in Django. Something else you need to know is once you understand the SQL, you also need to understand. So Django doesn't interact with the SQL code directly. Instead, it uses a language called uh, the Django ORM, which is a object relational mapper. Uh, Basically, what it means is that you just type your code in Python, then it will be translated into SQL queries in the database. Okay, so those are essential things you need to know before you start learning Django. Once you've learned that, you also need to know the importance of using a virtual environment. Okay, need those ones. So far I've said Python, databases, virtual environment. Okay, I need people connected, so let me wait a bit for people to join the stream before I continue. Mhm. Hello? Also, I've seen I'm live, so I think I can start. So the name of the tutorial is Django Dusk #1. Okay, so Django Dusk is a series of Django streams. I will okay, let me save that. So let me just continue with those who have joined at the moment. The other people will join us as we continue. So I was talking about the requirements to learn Django, so I started writing them in a notepad. So I said you need Python, you need to understand Python. So Django is built on top of Python. So there is no way you can start learning Django without understanding Python. So for Python, I recommend a book called Python Crash Course. Crash Course. It's a very good book to learn Python by, I think his name is Eric Maths. Then after that, you need to understand databases, preferably SQL. So you won't be writing SQL queries in SQL, but it's good to learn SQL so that you'll understand how the Django ORM works. So basically what the Django ORM does is translate the Python code to SQL queries. So let's say, for example, in Django, a table is represented by a class. So it is the ORM that translates this Python code to SQL queries. So for example, let me say we have a table called written in the class article. It will be inheriting from model. This is just an example. It's not a models dot model. Then one, two, three, four. Then you'll say, let me say name of the article, be written in models dot Sheffield. Max length equals to 200. So basically, the ORM will translate this code to an SQL code like, so it will translate it to create, let me write it in capital, create table article, then name varchar 200 will be translated to something like that in the SQL queries. So you need to understand that. So that is about the Django RM. Then next we have the virtual environment. So virtual environments helps you to write your code in isolation so that you don't interfere with the packages in your computer. Let's say for example, your Django 3 is installed in your computer, but you don't want to use Django 3, you want to use Django 4. So instead of deleting the Django 3 that is already in your computer, you just create an isolated environment called virtual environment and install Django 4 in that virtual environment. And in the virtual environment, it will not affect the Django 3 that was already installed on your machine. So let me remove this. This one was under ORM. So let me put it there. Then, sorry. So let me just put it like that. Let me put it like that. So we have the virtual environment. So when you create the process of using a virtual environment is, first of all, if your computer doesn't have a virtual environment installed, you will install it. Then you will create a virtual environment for your project. Then after that, you will have to activate your virtual environment. The process of creating a virtual environment varies from a Windows to a Linux or Mac computer. So the next thing you need to understand is web development basics. Web development basics. Here you have things like the HTTP. You don't need to learn these things, but they are very important. So to be very good at Django, you need to understand them very well. So HTTP protocol, this is an internet protocol. So protocol. Then we have HTML, then CSS, then a little bit of JavaScript. So for this part, personally, I'm not good at this part, HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript. So normally I use templates, ready-made templates. So I always use ready-made templates. So instead of this, I always use ready-made templates. But in future, I will learn JavaScript that I can become a very good developer. So apart from that, you also need to understand so after that, now let's get into Django itself. So Django, so there are things you need to understand about Django. So let me show you. So about Django, you need to understand the project structure. Sorry, installation and setup first. So installation and setup. You also need to understand the project structure. You need to understand the Django views, how they work with the URLs and templates. So I've put these three together because they work together with each other. Then after that, you need to understand Django forms. So let's say, for example, you've created a news website. So if you create a news website, let me see. So for people to create articles, you'll need Django forms. So for example, you'll create let me show you in one of my websites. So Social Bay, this one. Taking a lot of time. Let me try another one, this one. Okay, let me show you this one. So let me log in. It's taking a lot of time. So I want to sign in. I already have an account. So Vincent. So forms are things like this. So if you want to upload data to the database, so you'll be using forms. Let's say, for example, in this one, you'll fill in this form. So you need to understand this part. Next, after Django forms, I didn't say models here. So models are, let me put them separately before that. So Django models. So models is about the database. After that, you need to understand Django authentication. So some of these parts, these sections, I already have tutorials on, like the Django authentication and Django RM. So let me just update them real quick. So let me go to YouTube. I'll update them in the description of this tutorial. So let me go to this tutorial, then edit video. So let me edit the video. Okay, I'll be forced to open again. So YouTube. Okay, my internet is a bit slow, but I hope it will change with time. So in my channel, so I have a tutorial on Django ORM, so I'll link it in this tutorial. So Django ORM. If you want to understand Django ORM, you'll use that tutorial. Then if you want to understand about authentication, so Django, sorry, authentication, you'll use this one. What else? Let me see. So authentication and ORM. About the virtual environment. So for virtual environment, I have a special tutorial for that. So for virtual environment, I have the Windows version and the Mac or Linux version. So where are they? So this one is for Windows. Copy link address. So let me say into bracket Windows and link it there. Then sorry, let me copy that, and below this one paste, sorry, should paste the link there. So in Linux, so let me paste that one there. So this one is not Windows but Linux stroke Mac. So that's for Windows and for Linux and Mac. So let me save. So I've saved that one. So I think if I come to the tutorial, where is it? Live. Let me mute it. So if I come here, you can see the tutorial on Django RM, the tutorial on Django authentication, the tutorial on that and that. So once you've learned that, we go to the next part, which is the Django admin. Django admin. So Django comes with a built-in admin panel. So we need to understand how it works. So basically, these are the essentials you need to learn, in my opinion. There are more, but I think that's beyond the scope of this video. We'll be learning more of them in the later tutorials. So let's start. Let's start our today's project. So let me close that one. So I'm going to open Visual Studio Code. Sorry, before I do that, let me open projects, Python, Django. Then I want to create a new folder for today's project, so I'll call it Dusk1. So I'm calling this series Django Dusks. So I hope you understand where the word dusk is coming from. So Visual Studio Code. Going to open Visual Studio Code. So I've already opened Visual Studio Code. So I've opened 2 instances. So let me close one. So let me use this one. So inside Visual Studio Code, I'm going to open the folder I created. So I created desktop, projects, Python, Django. So that's one. So let me select that folder. Then contrast. So in this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a Django tutorial. So the first thing will be creating a virtual environment. So to do that, let me open terminal. So new terminal. So I've opened the terminal by clicking terminal, new terminal. Then once you have opened the terminal, you can create virtual environment using the command python -m venv. So in Mac and Linux, you'll use Python 3 -m venv. But in Windows, sorry, you use Python -m venv. So the last venv is the name of the virtual environment and can be changed. So you can rename it a different things. So you can even use .venv, or let me say env, whatever you like. But I prefer use venv to follow along with the tutorial. So once you've done that, press enter. Make sure your terminal is saying -1 here. Then the virtual environment, you'll see a folder created. But wait until a new terminal until the process is completed in the terminal. So give it some time. Taking a lot of time, but let's just be patient. So thanks for asking. So Django is used for web development in Python. How do you use templates for frontend? So let me show you. So I always use Tailwind CSS. So there is a site for Tailwind components. So let me see. Let me show you. So Tailwind components. So there is Flowbyte. So if you come to Flowbyte, let me go to the home page. So Flowbyte provides you with everything you need to write your code. So you won't have to focus on the front end, you just have to focus on the back end. So for example, if you go below here, you'll see different components. So let's say, let me show you for the, so if you need a navbar, you want to create a navbar, you just come to the navbar in Flowbyte. So if you open the navbar section, it will present you with a couple of navbars and their code. So you can just copy their code and use them in your code. So in this way, you won't be focusing on the front end, but your focus will be mainly on the back end, and you'll use these components for the front end to do your work very quickly. I hope you've understood. You've understood. I hope you've understood how I use templates in Django. So let me close these ones. So normally I use Flowbyte and other sites to get templates that I can use in my code. So if you look at a website like this one, I created just a couple of weeks ago. Let it load. Okay, my internet is a bit slow, but to just load. So let's give it time. Don't know why these sites are not loading. Okay, it's loading. So as you can see, for example, I didn't write any of this code. I just used templates. So my code is basically here. This is what I wrote. So if you go to the /admin, so the admin section contains my code, but not the front end part. Sorry, let me see. Let me try that one. Okay, as you can see, I only wrote code for this backend, but the front end, I use templates. These were templates. I hope you've understood how I use templates in Django. So I hope I can continue. Okay. So the virtual environment has been created successfully. So I want to activate it. So to activate the virtual environment, you run the command dot that slash, then you are in Dusk1, so you will move to venv, then slash. Then if you look at the slash, you have scripts. That's what you write here, capital S, scripts. Then slash, inside the scripts we have activate. So just type activate. So basically this means that we are running the activate file inside scripts, which is inside venv. Dot slash is used to run a script file. So press enter. Okay, we've activated our virtual environment. Once you activate your virtual environment, you see the name of your virtual environment in brackets. That means that you are in your virtual environment. So you don't need to open these ones. won't be touching this file that much. So don't touch it. So once you've done that, the next thing to do is install Django using pip. So pip is a package manager for Python, just like npm in JavaScript. So install Django using pip install Django. So pip install Django, then press enter. Django will be installed in the virtual environment. So I'll show you the difference between the packages installed in the virtual environment and the packages installed globally in my computer in a few. So, okay, let it install Django, give it some time. Okay, it's about to complete, just give it some time. It will just be done in a few. Okay, it's done. So we've already installed Django. So let me show you something. So to see the packages installed in an environment, you type pip freeze. So if you type pip freeze, you'll see the packages installed. So Django comes with 3 other packages. So TZ data, SQL pass, and this one, and Django itself. So if I run pip freeze inside the virtual environment, you'll see these are the only packages installed. Now let's try running the same command outside the virtual environment. So let me copy it, pip freeze. So let me open a CMD. Then I'll try running the same command inside that CMD. You'll see a lot of packages installed that are not necessary for sorry. So it shows no package installed at the moment, but in our virtual environment we have various packages installed. So that's the good thing about virtual environment. So let's say, for example, Django 5 has been released, and Django 5 will cause problems to your code. So if you had installed the Django globally, it will be a problem. It will cause problems to your code, but installing it to your virtual environment means that if you delete this environment, that instance of Django is gone. So I hope you understand that. So let me, okay, so it's taking time to load. Let's see. Okay, I'm back, and I hope everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, can you type hi in the comment section? So I'll start. So, hi, type hi if you can hear me so that we can continue. Okay, I hope everyone can hear me. So I want to continue so that we don't waste a lot of time. So let me go back to the code. So the only thing I've done so far is created the virtual environment and activated it. Then I've installed Django using pip install Django. So once that is done, we can now create our Django project So Django, you use the command Django -admin start project, then the project name. So I'll call my project name Django project. You can name it whatever you want, but I prefer you name it like in mine, so that we can follow along easily. Then put a full stop in the end. So Django -admin start project, Django project, then a full stop in the end, then press enter. Okay, and give it some time. I hope you guys can hear me. So I want to go to the next part. So the next thing, if you are stuck, you can just write the problem in the comment section, then I'll try helping you. So if you are okay, the Django project has been created. You can see here Django project. Then a file called name.manage.py has also been created. So this file is very important. We'll be using it every now and then in the project. So once you've created that, you can check if your project is working correctly using the Python manage.py run server command. So to check if your project has been created successfully, so there is a warning here. I'll show you how to fix it in a bit. So what we're interested in at the moment is this link. So once you run the command python manage.py run server, so basically this is executing this file manage.py, then with an argument run server. So let's check the link. So press control with click. So you'll see the install worked successfully. So this is your boilerplate. So this is what shows that you've installed Django successfully. Now you can start coding. Okay. So I want to fix this issue. So to fix it, let's first stop the server by clicking the Control C command on your keyboard. Then you can type the python manage.py migrate, just like it has been instructed here to apply the migration. So this has something to do with the database. So you are creating a database. So if you run that command, you'll see a file here called db.sqlite3. So that is our database. So we'll be using SQLite3 database. Don't worry about it at the moment. So at the moment, just type the command as it is. You'll see more about it in the later sections. So once you've done that, so basically we've created our project and run the migrations command. So now if you run the manage.py run server command, you'll see there are no warnings at this time. So control click. So if you hover the mouse here, you'll see follow the link by control click. So let me click control click, then you see this one. The installation worked successfully. So that's what we'll be changing. So let's continue. So the next thing is to start an app. So in Django, see something here. Disable this app. So I'll disable my computer noise. So the next thing I've said is to start an app. So different apps perform different functionalities in a project. So let's say, for example, you can have a users app that manages user authentication. You can have an articles app that manages articles in your project. Then you can have, let me see if you are running a e-commerce website, you can have a shop app in your project. So in my case, I want to make a blog app. So let me say Python. So run the command python manage.py start app, then the app name. So this is the command for starting an app. So as I've said, specific apps in a project perform specific functionalities in the project. So in my case, I want to create an app called, let me call it articles. So it will be an app that manages articles in the project. Then press enter. This time don't put a dot in the end. I want the results of this command to be in the same directory. So sorry, in a directory called articles. In the first command, I used a dot in the end so that the result of the command can be output in the current directory. But in this case, I want them to be inside the articles directory. So press enter. Then you'll see articles. We have articles here, and everything else is inside it. Okay, that's great. So clear. So once you've done that, you can rerun the server. Or let's not do that at the moment, because if you run it, it will just do the same thing it was doing before. So it will give you the link. If you go to the link, it will show you the same things. So it wasn't even necessary. So after creating an app, you have to link your app to the project. At the moment, your app is just something on its own, but you have to link it with your project. So to do that, first, you'll go to your project settings.py. So inside your projects folder, you have a file called settings.py. Then inside the settings.py, you have a installed apps list. So list is a data structure in Python. So we have lists and dictionaries. So in this case, the one with square brackets is called list. So inside the list, you have to add your app. So our app is called articles. So inside this list, you add the name of your app, the app you just created from your terminal seconds ago. So in my case, it's articles. I hope you named yours also articles. So once you've linked it inside with the apps, you have also to link the URLs in your articles to the URLs in your project. So at the moment, we only have URLs in your project, but there is no way they can communicate to your articles. So to link the URLs in your project to the URLs in your article, you'll first create a URLs file, urls.py file in your app, so urls.py, press enter. So inside this urls.py, basically it will contain almost similar things. So it will import path. So you'll need path. What will you also need? Let me call someone. I'm coming back in a few. Hello? Hello. So I'm back, guys. I had a problem with my internet, but it's fixed. I hope it won't be a problem again, and we can continue. So I hope everyone can hear me. So let me see. Okay, so let's continue. So where were we? So I had created a URLs file inside articles. So I had a problem with my internet, but it's fine now, so we can continue. So I had created a urls.py file inside the article. So to do that, just put your cursor on top of the articles, then right click, select new file, name the file urls.py like I've named it here. Then inside it, type this code. Okay, once you've typed that, then you write the name of the app. So app name is articles. Once that is done, then now you can create the URL patterns. So URL patterns, it's an empty list. Let me disable Copilot at the moment. It's auto-completing for me. So install the extension Copilot. Let me see this one. Let me disable it at the moment. Then reload my Visual Studio Code. So we have an empty list at the moment because we haven't done anything. So let me go back here. So we've created a project and app, created a URLs file, .py file in the articles in the app. Then now we have to link it to the urls.py in the Django project. So go to urls.py. Then to do that, we'll need a include. So we'll need include function. Then below the admin path, type a new path and let's leave it blank. Then here you do include. Then inside include, we will include the URLs in the articles. So we'll do articles dot URLs. Okay. So this one is to link so it's basically in English terms is that you are including the urls.py file in the articles inside the project. So basically that's it. So you do that by the include function. Okay, once that is done, now we have linked it. Clear, let me clear. Then if I run the server, manual.py run server, we have a problem. It's articles, not articles. So update that. So let me cancel again and run server. Okay, the server is working correctly now. If I refresh, we still have the same message. So once that is done, can move to the next thing. So the next thing in this tutorial I want to work on is the models. So close the project, but we want to deal with the articles now. So let me close these ones and that one. So we have the models. So inside the models, I hope you can still hear me. Anyone who is still in the stream. So inside the models, we'll write the database code. So instead of writing SQL queries in Python, you just type Python classes, and a class will be translated to a table inside the database. So let's do that. Okay. So let's do that. So I'll write a class. So class topic. So let me call it topic. So topic will inherit from models dot model. So what you are seeing inside this bracket is inheritance. So the class topic is inheriting from the class model, which is inside the module models. So inside this models module, we have a class called model, which we are inheriting from. Then once you do that, then the topic will have a text. Let me name it name. So name is models dot charfield. So charfield. Then you'll give it a max length. So max underscore length equals to 200. So basically what this means is that the inside the, like, we will create a table called topic, and the table called topic will have a field called name, and the field called name, this is its property. It's a variable character with the maximum length of 200 characters. Next is date added, which is another field. Then models dot date, let me see, date times field. Then in bracket type auto, now add equals to true. So basically what this means is that every time you create a topic, you want to be writing the date on yourself, will be auto updating the date in which the article is added. Then after that, you write a function inside it, which is a special function, self. Sorry, it's just self like that. Then it returns, self dot text. So sorry, not text, but name. We are using the name here, so it will return this one. So this function is basically used to name. This is the problem. No, let me see. So invalid syntax. Don't understand what is the problem. Def function string. Let me cancel. Clear. So class topic would inherit from models.model. Then name. Let me change this one to text and try text here. Still no difference. What is this? What is causing the problem? Let me see. Def underscore str. Okay, self column. Don't understand the problem here. Valid syntax. Line 9. Oh, the problem is returns. It should be return, not returns. I hope you understand that. Sorry for the problem. So let me continue. First of all, let me see the analytics. Okay. In use of stream health, excellent analytics. Okay. So let's continue. So let's continue. So I'll explain what this does in a few. So in my tutorial on Django ORM, I'm explaining exactly what this does. So for example, so let me just use the admin section to show you what this does. So first, I'll add this one to the admin.py. So inside the admin.py, but let me just, so Django comes with a built-in admin section. So if you want to log in, so let me show you. So if you go to /admin, you'll see this panel, login page. Sorry, need to have the server running. So you must run the python manage.py run server. Then if you go to the link, then add /admin, you'll be taken to this section, but I know you'll be wondering what are the credentials here. So for the credentials, you'll create them on your own. So inside the terminal, let me open a new terminal session. I hope it will activate the virtual environment in it. Okay, my virtual environment is activated inside the new terminal. If your new terminal doesn't have this bracket, you'll have to rerun this command /venv /script /activate. This is if your terminal did not put this bracket here. If you are in Linux, I forgot, to activate your virtual environment, you use source venv /bin /activate. If this is if you are in Linux and Mac OS, but we are not in that, so we'll just be using the first command, that is ./venv/script/activate. So once you have this one, I want to generate admin password. So to do that, we'll run the command python manage.py create super user in one word. So don't separate the create super user in different words, it should be one word. Then press enter. So it will ask you for username. So in my case, I'll give it vin. You can give it your name. You don't have to stick to my name. So vin, then email, you can skip that for now. Then the password, let me just give it 1, 2, 3, 4. Press enter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will ask you, the password is too short, the password is too common, the password is entirely numeric. Bypass password validation and create user anyway. Press yes. I'll press yes. Don't forget to press yes. Sorry, type Y for yes and click enter. Okay. Once that is done, now you have the credentials for the admin section. So my credentials are vin and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I can log in. So if you go to the admin section at the moment, you'll see users. If you click users, you'll see vin, the user you just created. Then you have groups. No groups have been added yet. So this is advantage for Django. You have these things are pre-built, inbuilt. You don't have to create any of them. So at the moment you can't see the article here. So that's what we're working on. So to make your article visible in the admin section, so it's simple. You just come here and type admin. Sorry, first import your article model. So from where is article located in the model, which is models is in the same directory as admin. So in dot model, which means in the is it models? So it's models. So in the same directory as admin, search for a file called models, then import this article. Was it article? Topic, sorry, not article. So post topic. I hope you understood this. So this dot means the current directory. So from the current directory, search for models. So from the current directory, which admin.py is located, is articles, search for models. So inside models, import topic. So we are importing this topic. Once you've imported it, you can type admin.site.register. Then inside the brackets, add the topic. So let me go back to this. So there were some errors, but they have been fixed. As you type, my autosave is on, so every time I type, it automatically saves. That's why you get some errors, because I've typed something, I've not completed typing something like register. It will bring an error to the terminal. But at the moment I've completed. So if I come to the admin and refresh, you'll see topics here, and if you click the topics, no such tables. So that's where the migrate command that we ran at the beginning of the project comes in handy. So basically what that means is that we've created this model, but it has not been translated to SQL in the database. So a table for it has not been created yet. So to create a table for that, we'll type Python manage.py, make migrations first. So the first command is make migrations. You'll see this has been created. Then once you finish that command, now you can type migrate, and everything will be translated to the database. Okay, migrations have been completed successfully. Now if you refresh, sorry, I stopped the server, so run server again. Basically, you can't access anything on the website without running the server, so keep that in mind. So if I refresh the server now, you'll see topics, and there are no topics at the let me see. Okay, as you can see now, we have this panel. If you have topics, so if you write a new topic, let me say football. Sorry, football, and save. You'll see here football, but that is because we added this function. So if you remove this function, you'll see something else. I just wanted to explain the importance of that function there. So just look in the code. So you'll see topic object one instead of the name of the topic. So I'm just trying to explain the essence of the function we added inside the model. So this is just for styling purposes in the admin section and the shell if you want to access the models. So if I refresh now, you'll see football again. You can add a new topic, let's say politics, can save. Okay, that's that. We've created a super user. So in this step, we've created a super user, created the model, and added the model to the admin. So now let's go to the next part. Okay. So for every topic, I want us to have different articles. So I want to create a new table called articles, and every article will depend on a topic, will be inside a topic. So for example, let me say inside football, football is a topic. So inside football, we have different articles. So let me do that. So for that, we'll create a new model. So class articles, articles. Then as always, it will inherit from models.model, just like we did in the other model. So then inside it, will define which topic the article belongs to. So topic. So for the topic, you'll write models dot. So here we'll use a relationship. So we'll use foreign key. So I hope you've done some SQL, and if you have done so, I hope you know what a foreign key is. So models dot foreign key. Then inside the foreign key, you will define the model that is related to this one. So you'll type topic. Let's see, no, topic, then comma. So on delete, then you type on delete equals to models dot cascade. Sorry, cascade. So basically what this line means, what can I use to explain? So topic and articles are in a one-to-many relationship. So let me say one topic is related to many what? Articles. So it's a one-to-many relationship. So for one-to-many relationship, we use the foreign key in Django. Then we define this on delete models.cascade. What that means is that when you delete a topic, you can't have the articles in it. So every article will also go with it. So for example, let me say we have a topic called football. And inside the football topic, we have many articles. If you delete the topic football, these articles cannot exist on their own, so they will also be deleted. So that's the essence of this on delete inside this bracket. So this one was just for explaining, so I'll remove it. Let me delete that. Then you go back to the indentation. Then the text. So the text is models dot text field. So text fields are basically larger versions of char fields. So for char fields, you must define the max length, but for text field, you don't have to. So for example, the body of an article can be very long than the title. So let's say than the topic. For topics, you can have something like football, like health, something like entertainment. But for articles, for the text, you'll have something long, just no. Okay. So after that, we also have date. So we must also define the date the article was added. So equals to models dot date time field. Okay, date time field. You must also do auto now add equal to true, so that someone cannot interfere with the date something is added. It will just be added automatically. Sorry, this one should not be articles. The plural is added automatically by Django, so your models should be in singular, unless it is something that cannot be plural. I'll explain that. So let's say, for example, instead of article, we used the word entry. Basically, what Django would have done is add an S in the end in the database, but we don't need that because that is not the plural of entry. So to tackle that problem, we would have done class meta, then verbose, verbose name plural, we would have written entries because that is the plural of the word entry. But in our case, it is article. So basically Django will add an S in the end, which is just okay. So let me delete that. Then as always, def str self, then return. So what do we return in this case? I want to return self dot text. But the text is the body of the article, so we can't return it in. Remember, it will be returned here, so it will be very long. So we don't want that. So to tackle that, let's play with arrays and strings with strings. Sorry, so we'll use the format. So format that. You know this works. So like that. So self.text. Then we will split 50. Then the rest will be replaced with 3 dots. Is it okay really? Have sorry, this one should not be here. It should be outside because it is not from the variables. So I hope you know how this f works in Python. I think it is format string. So Python f string. Let me see, I hope it's that one. Yeah, it's this one. So the variables, you put them in curly braces, then the rest you put them inside the quotation without curly braces. Okay, this one. Okay, once that is done, you can now import it. So we already imported topic from the models, and the articles are also from models. So just put a comma instead of writing the command again. So article. Then for this, we just write it again. Paste. Then article. Okay. Once you've done that, you must always, once you've created a model, you must make migration and migrate. Then now you can run the server and you will see your new, you'll see your new what? Your new article model. So let me refresh. If you refresh, you'll see articles, you'll see an S has been added in the end. Topic, we just named it topic. The S was added automatically. So don't be scared by that. So if you go to articles, let me add a new article. So because article inherits from topic, you want to be writing the topic on your own, unless you want to add a new topic that is not in the database already. So we'll select, let me say football. Then let me find football, something about football. So football news. Let me find some football news. So this one. So let me just use this content for the tutorial. So I can just copy this, copy, then paste it here, then save. So you can see it has been trimmed up to the 50 mark, then 50th mark, then the rest has been replaced with dots. So if you go to topics, then articles, you see this one, football, that. I hope you understand that. So that is done. So let's say the next thing. let's see the next thing. So inside, so the section on Django ORM is beyond the scope of this tutorial. So to view it, I've added the link to that tutorial in the description of this video. So let's see. I'm just checking if the stream is working correctly. So let's see. Oh. So I linked the links to the other tutorials. So for the ORM, we check it here. So to play with the database in your shell, we'll check this tutorial on Django ORM. I've linked it in this video. So let me show you. Channel, then this video. If you come to the comment section, you'll see this Django RM. So that explains about how to use the database in the shell, Django shell. So let's continue. So now the next thing. So the next thing now we are going to, instead of watching these ones in the admin section, the models in the admin section. So we want to create the front end part of that website so that other users can see them in the front end. So let's work on that. So we already linked our URLs to the URLs in the articles. So now we'll be writing URLs for every page here inside the empty list. So first we need a template. So inside the articles folder, create a folder, a folder, sorry, called templates. Then inside the templates folder, create another folder with the same name as our app. So articles, name it articles. Then inside articles, you can now create a file called index.html. So that's our first HTML template. So for the moment, I just want to put a dummy code. So paragraph, article, log, then another paragraph. So let me name it blog web app. Then give it a description. is a website for news, just like the BBC. Sorry, BBC. Okay, when you create a template, you must always create a URLs and a view. So first we'll start with views. So inside the views.py, we'll create a new view. So views are written in function form. So dev, name it index. So can give it any name, but I prefer index to match with our template. Then request, it will take request. So views must always take a request parameter. So then it will return render. So this render that is imported by default in Django. Then inside it, let me see, it will return a render request. So request first, then the name of the template. So we'll write articles index.html. So basically Django knows up to the templates. So if you want to write in your, to link that template in your view, you must type the articles, then the index.html. You must link the, you must type the whole URL of the place where index.html is located. Okay. Once that is done, you can now go to the urls.py in the app. So the articles app, URLs, then you can import views. So from dot, I think it's in the same directory, import views. So views and URLs are in the same directory. So from dot, which means the same directory as the urls.py, import views. So then you write path of the view. So I'll leave here blank, then views dot, my view was index, so views dot index, then you can give it a name. This is optional but important in future, so can name it index also. So now if you refresh your page, you'll see that template does not exist at, let me see, we have an error. Okay, let me see. Inside the view, so I named it article instead of articles. So the folder inside templates where the index.html is located is articles, not articles. So just rewrite that, then refresh the page. So you'll see this. Our template is being displayed correctly. Okay. Okay, so once you've done that, to build more pages, as pages get more and more, there comes the concept of template inheritance. So I also need to link my tutorial on template inheritance in the description of this video. So let me just link it here. So let me find the tutorial. Not there. So channel, your channel, then I need the tutorial on template inheritance. So this one, copy link address, then let me see, live, is there edit? So let me just open it. So edit video, I want to add that tutorial here on template inheritance. It will be helpful. So Django template inheritance. So the tutorial is that one, not bold. So control B, like that. One word. So save. So let me explain it briefly. So to use template inheritance first, we'll create a base.html file. So base.html file, but we want to be rendering this base.html directly. Other templates will be inheriting from it. So inside the base.html file, we'll put a paragraph. So put a paragraph key. Sorry. Key. Then inside the paragraph, I want to put a link A. So the link is articles or what? What did I name it here? Blog web app. Let me name it blog web app. Then inside the link, you just know you must put href, which is the link equals to. Then here, now here, if you go to the URLs, you'll see we added this app name and we gave each the URL a name. So this one will be helpful. Instead of writing the absolute URL, we'll be using this namespacing URL. It's called name URLs namespacing. So to achieve that, go to base.html. So then percentage, then URL, then inside there put that sorry, here I don't put those ones. So I put the name of the app is articles colon, then the name of the URL. So the name of the URL was index, I guess. So it's index, if you understand. Then after that, you put blog content tag. So these are these are template tags in Django. I don't have a tutorial on them at the moment, but I'll work on that soon. So end blog contents. So basically what this means is that this tag, this p tag, will be inherited in every page, but the content inside the blog content will be specific to every page. So it will not be inherited. Okay. So once we've created the base.html, we can now go to index.html. Then instead of writing this, we will write, so this page extends, then articles, so the name of the app, sorry, not that one, base.html. So it extends this template, base.html, which is in the articles folder. Then below it, I'll put sorry, let me undo everything so that I can get the content that was there before. So let me not delete this one because I will also need it. So extends, sorry, percentage tags needs to be there. Then extends articles slash base.html. Then below it, you can say block content, then specify the end of the block content. So if you refresh in your browser, you'll see the same thing, but with the link from the base.html. So you can see we have the link from the base.html because we've inherited this. We have this link and the body, which is specific to the index.html page. Okay, I've explained the template inheritance in brief. So basically what this means is that the index.html is a child template and the base.html is the parent template. Okay, let's continue. So now we can have topics page. So as explained earlier, we need to specify the template, view, and a URL. So don't forget that. Let me write it somewhere. Let me put a new file here. Sorry, not there. Yeah, outside. Sorry. Outside then. Limit essentials .txt. So for every template, comma, there is a URL and a view. Or for every web page, there is let me remove this one from there because there is a template URL and a view. So don't forget this one. It's very important. Most people forget this one and they get errors. So for the topics, we'll create a topic.html. So topics.html. Sorry. So inside the topics.html, so this one will be so before I write the content inside here, let me just go to the views and write its view first. So def so the view is, so here in this view we'll be interacting with the database with the backend. So it will be returning data from the backend. So be very keen. So first we'll import the topic itself, the topic model. So from .models import topic. Once we've imported topics, then let's create a topics view. Text request as always. Then below it, now we write topics is equal to topic dot objects dot all. So basically what this means is will be translated in the database as select all from topics. That's why I told you I haven't focused on Django or RM, but it is very important. I also said in the beginning of the stream that you need to understand databases and SQL queries to learn Django effectively. So I linked the tutorial on Django ORM. The first link in this tutorial is the Django ORM. So open that link and study it very carefully to understand this part. Topics is equal to topics.objects.all. So basically we are querying the topic database table and saving the data in topics variable. So once that data is saved, so you write a context variable, then it takes a dictionary. Inside the dictionary we write topics, then key, that is the key, then the value is topic, or the value is topics, sorry. The value is these topics. These topics here is what will be taken to the templates, and these topics is the topics from this query, this variable. So basically this one can be something different, but it is preferable if you use the same as this one, unless there is another variable which will conflict this one, then you can use something different. So once you, sorry, this one should not be content, it should be context like that. Then as always, function must return something, so return render, then request, comma, then articles. So we give the path to the topics, topics.html. Then the difference between this one and the index is that this one takes some data from the database. The index wasn't taking any data from the database. So this one will pass the context, which contains a dictionary of the topics data. Okay. Now we have topics, these topics in the template. So we can go to the templates. Okay, inside the templates, you can it will also extend. So template inheritance extends articles slash topics. I'm sorry, base.html. So base.html contains all the data that will be repeated in every page, so we don't have to write them afresh, so we just inherit them. So then inside the block content is where we write content specific to this page and block content. Then inside the tag, we'll specify the title. So p in a p tag. So title is topics. Then the topics will fetch them from the database. So but I want to style them in a list. So ul, then for, so using template tags, this is where you must understand also. So for, so template tags also allow for loops for topic in topics. The li will contain topic, and we end the for loop. But what if the list is empty? So if empty, unless if it is empty, you will type a list also. No topics have been added yet. So let's view it. Sorry, we don't have our URLs yet, so it can't be seen. So we must add a URL. So it's a list, so everything must be separated with a comma, then path. So every list is added using a path, then views dot, the name of the is the name of the view, then name, pass a name to the URL, so I'll just name it topics so that I don't confuse in future. So if I refresh now, so let me refresh. I hope the server, okay. Okay, it should work now. So let me refresh. So if I go to slash topics, you'll see what's the problem. Okay, I know what the problem is. So inside here, you should put topics, then slash in the end, so that if you come here and put topics, it returns the topics page with the topics that we just added in the database. So let me try explaining everything that works using the URLs, the templates, and the views. So this is what happens when you type something in the browser. So let's say Django, or let me just use this website. So if you type this one in the browser, or let me use something that is already there. So let me say if you do twitter.com. So if you type twitter.com, what happens is that is a URL, so it will find the URL that matches what you've typed. So let's say it was this one, so it will find that URL inside your code. So let's say it finds this one, then once it finds your URL, your path, then it will go to the view associated with that path. So let's say views.index, then it will take us to that view. Let me see, views.py index. Then it will process the index view, then find a template, then it will respond with that template. So index.html. So for example, in our code, if you type our code, let's say localhost /topics, it will go to our code and find the topics URL. So topics here, then it will find the view associated with it, then go to the view. Then inside the view, it will process all the data, then return the data in a template. Return to your template, so the template will be styled in a different way. So in today's tutorial, I think it's good to stop at that. We'll resume again tomorrow. Thanks for everyone who streamed, watched, and I hope you've subscribed. Thank you.